We know in politics, in life, you got to relate to people, especially to get their votes. Gavin Newsom just went ahead and ruined his career and tried to relate to the bottom tier, to the people who can barely read. So what does he do? Telling people, I can't read either. Let's take a look at this Black conservative video where he points out Gavin Newsom trying to relate to be our next president. It is really crazy. By the way, my name is Noel. Welcome to Verbal on Live. I'm trying to create this podcast, bring you the latest news that the regular media is not showing you. Let's take a look.
The same school. Watch this. And I have some comments on the other side.
Young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things. And I want the world open up to all of them, because when you have their diverse voices innovating solutions through technology, then you're really addressing society's broader challenges.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you. You know, I'm a 960 SAT guy.
Boy, oh boy.
We want somebody better than regular people, not the same bum ass guy at the bottom of the tier.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about old Gavin Newsom, who really stepped in it, and he's receiving a whole lot of backlash for some comments that he made while speaking to black people at some event in Atlanta, right? He did an event with the Atlanta mayor, and he basically told black people that he's dumb just like them, right? Now, the reason why I find this backlash to be so hilarious is because I literally made a video recently, the first video that came out today, basically explaining why Gavin Newsom is so dumb, right? He actually is dumb. He's not lying about that. But the problem is that he's such a snake oil salesman that he will try to say whatever he thinks he needs to say in order to please whatever audience he's trying to appeal to, right? Because again, he's a snake oil salesman. So he's selling people snake oil, and he'll say whatever, right? It doesn't matter what it is, even if it might not necessarily be something that he should be saying, right? Even if it's not necessarily something that's good for his campaign in the future. Like, for example, in the last video I talked about, he bragged about being anti-oil, right? I'm the most anti-oil fossil fuel guy that you can think of, right? Again, not going to play well when you're running on affordability, okay? And California has the highest gas prices in the country. So what Gavin Newsom said here is really par for the course in regards to how black people are perceived by white liberals, right? And we got to play his clip because, again, this dude is getting so much backlash for this. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you. You know, I'm a 960 SAT guy. and I'm not trying to offend anyone, trying to act all there if you got 940. But literally a 960 SAT guy. I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech. Maybe the wrong business to be in.
They're not afraid. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And the black mayor just sitting there laughing along, right? I'm not trying to impress you. I'm trying to impress upon you. Straight snake oil, right? He passing it out left and right. All the snake oil.
All right.
And the snake oil salesman goes on to say that I'm a 960 SAT guy, right? I can't read. Just like you, right? Just like you Negroes. I can't read either, right? So therefore, I don't think I'm better than you.
It's funny. Trump didn't do none of this. You know what the great thing that Trump did? He was himself. And that's it. Take it or leave it. This is who I am. We're going to fix this country. Period.
Because I'm stupid, just like you are, right? That's what he's saying. That's exactly what he is saying. That's what he's saying. And we don't need to speculate in regards to the meaning of what he's saying, because Democrats have said stuff like this over and over and over again, implying that black people are dumb, are stupid, right?
And that's another thing, calling people dumb, that people cannot get an ID to vote, cannot get their birth certificate or a passport. That's just straight up calling people dumb. And it's crazy that people don't see it, that they're telling you don't know how to get an ID. So therefore, we got to bring in all the illegals and let everybody vote. That's crazy.
Apparently, black people too dumb to use computers, according to Kathy Hochul. Too stupid to get vaccines, right? Too stupid to get IDs to vote, right? This is what Democrats think about black folks. And when you listen to them talk, they tell you exactly what they think of you. So, yeah, Newsom here is receiving a whole lot of backlash for this. Take a look.
So Gavin Newsom was sitting having an interview in a room full of black people and told everybody that he was just like them because his SAT scores were 960 and he can't read. How? What? Listen, I'm a Republican woman, and I am well aware of the fact that there are a lot of black people that are a lot smarter than I am, and their SAT scores would be a hell of a lot larger than mine, and they probably can read better than I can too. Okay? How is that not racist? I would never pretend to know what someone's SAT scores were based upon the color of their skin, but he said it. He said it. He said, I'm just like you. My SAT scores were 960. I mean, that was actually verbatim, pretty much what he said. Later on in the discussion, he said, he can't read very well. He's a lot like they are. Come on. How is this okay? This man is a racist, like on a level that's like right in your face. I don't care. But because he laughs and what? My God, liberals are nuts if they think that this is okay. If this is the best you people can do, this is what you guys are putting a racist. You're going to try to put a racist in the White House. I mean a legitimate one. But he's a liberal, so it's okay.
Because I cannot read a speech.
Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way. I was going to talk about another Gavin Newsom clip, but can y'all imagine my surprise of coming on Malcolm X's internet during Black History Month and hearing and seeing this? All right, in the spirit of good faith, if y'all can find me a video of Gavin Newsom going to a poor white community and be like, just like y'all, for real, like I wear dirty wife beaters, I wear flat brim YMCMB hats, I drink Mountain Dew Code Red, I only listen to Eminem, I'm just like y'all poor whites, for real. If y'all can find me, Gavin Newsom, doing that, then I will shut the hell up. He's just out of touch politician, I guess. If y'all can find that, find the equivalent. Yeah, but this really said, yeah, I'm just like y'all, for real, I can't read. Nah, I'm just like y'all, for real. I love Black history. I've read The Souls of Black Folk. I love ball, like something. Don't say, I'm just like y'all, I can't read.
That's crazy.
Oh, you gotta.
How is everybody in this room not completely insulted by this? If you feel like you have to talk about how stupid you are in order to relate to everybody else, that says a whole lot about what you think of them. Can you imagine inviting people over to your house and you're like, we have a lot in common. I'm a moron. I can't read. I failed at everything. And that wouldn't just be insulting to people that aren't white. That would be insulting to everybody. I'd be like, so you're saying I'm stupid. Yet this seems to be what Democrats do all the time. And the people listening are like, yeah, right on.
Now, I know y'all heard Gavin Newsom sitting across from Mayor Andre Dickens of the city of Atlanta talking about listen, I'm just like you guys, right? I didn't do good on my SATs either. I think I scored like a 960. Trying to relate to black people. So the only way you can relate to black people is by saying that you dumb like us. Trying to call black people dumb. Like this, how many different ways can the Democratic Party insult you and y'all still gonna vote for this man? Because you know this is going to be the presidential front runner in 2028. Because AOC and Kamala, they ain't got the gusto for it. And if you like all the pundits, all the experts pretty much know it's gonna be Newsom, more than likely out of the Democratic ticket. So how many times Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Kamala Harris, she changed her accent in every state she went to. Now Gavin Newsom is saying, I'm dumb just like y'all. How many times y'all gonna let the Democratic Party play with our intellect? And again, I'm not saying the Republicans are better off either. Let's be clear. I'm not saying that the Republicans are better at all in this instance, but they ain't said nothing quite this stupid in recent memory in terms of presidential elections or presidential candidate. Not quite this stupid, not this blatantly stupid. So when will we wake up and realize that the Democratic Party don't like us? They want to keep you dumb. The Democratic Party wants to keep you as a low information voter. Okay? Wake it up, smell the coffee. Do not vote Newsom. Or if you do, understand you're voting for someone that believes you are dumb if you black.
I cannot read a speech.
He thinks you can't read. He thinks that black people can't read.
Keeping it real.
And he's trying to liken himself to you by saying, oh, I'm not the brightest bulb in the box. I can't read a speech, just like you guys. I'm just like you. We got ourselves another Joe Biden on our hands, man. You guys just vote for the best of them, huh?
During Black History Month, one Gavin Newsom got in front of an audience of people and said to a black man's face, I'm just like all of you. I'm not trying to impress all of you, okay? I'm just like you. I'm a 960 SAT kind of guy. I have trouble reading. bro, you just know that his campaign aides were in the background just finding any metal to chew on in agony. I mean, just a generational foot in mouth moment. Okay, and this guy's really over here trying to convince us, like, I'm not a vampire, I have warm blood.
So, not only did Gavin Newsom just openly admit to being an illiterate idiot, but he just insulted a room full of black Americans by saying that I too cannot score higher than a 960 on the SATs. And hey, I can't read either. Like you. Do what? He must have taken some notes out of the Joe Biden book, because that's pretty bad. You know, can we just take a step back for a minute here and just imagine if Donald Trump were to say something like this? He would be strung up by his toes at this point.
Yep.
There's no question about it whatsoever. If you guys can't see it already, Gavin Newsom's 2028 campaign, it's already cooked.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Now, I think we do all know what the mainstream liberal media reaction would be if Trump said what Gavin Newsom said. I mean, we just saw the media freak out about a video that accidentally featured Obama and Michelle as well as apes, right? We saw them freak out about that. So, you know, we already know what they would say. Now, we're going to see if Newsom gets the same type of backlash from the liberal media for his comments. But he is triggered by this, right? He's triggered by all the backlash because Sean Hannity called him out on this. He says, Gavin Newsom thinks a 960 SAT makes him like black Americans. Let that sink in. Gavin Newsom says, you didn't give a shit about the president of the United States of America posting an ape video of President Obama and calling African nations shitholes. Now, I'm trying to figure out what's racist about calling African nations shitholes. I think he called a bunch of nations shitholes, to be honest with you, not just African ones. But still, he says, but you're going to call me racist for talking about my lifelong struggle with this.
It's nice to have a president who's not scared to speak his mind, because there are a lot of countries out there that are just shithole trying to shit on the United States.
Alexia, spare me your fake effing outrage, Sean. Yo. This guy, Gavin Newsom, is so funny. He really is the gift that keeps on giving. I can't believe I'm not following him. I need to follow him, right? Racist comments blame Trump. Yeah. So he's getting a whole lot of backlash here. Your comments were racist. Instead of swearing at people on the internet, you should apologize to the black community. Whitley Yates says, Wait, so your response is pointing out other racially insensitive issues? That is your response? And I think one of the most fascinating parts about the backlash is that you got some of these clowns, these pro-black clowns, defending what Gavin Newsom said, right? Saying that, well, he didn't really say that, right? Like, for example, Mark Lamont Hill, he says, that's not what he said. Putting direct quotes here is dishonest. You left out words in context. It's almost as if you just cut out and pasted what the right-wing blogs are saying without actually watching the video yourself. Please do yourself a favor and watch the video. Well, I mean, listen, here's the problem, right? Here's the problem with this argument, right? We can give Gavin Newsom the benefit of the doubt, right? In the sense that you can say, well, he was just talking about his dyslexia and his struggles with reading and that he's just not that smart, like the average American, right? He's not saying that black people aren't that smart. He's saying that the average American isn't that smart, which I don't know if that's any better, right? I mean, let's keep it 100. I'm not sure if that's any better because, like I try to tell you guys all the time, Democrats, their whole political philosophy is based off the assumption that the American people are not that smart, right? So Gavin Newsom basically saying he's not that smart like the American people. Even if you take the racial context out of it, that's still not that much better, right? I mean, he's in Atlanta, Georgia, talking to Southerners, right? Even if the audience may have not been, primarily black or whatever, right? Even though, white people in the audience, doesn't matter. He's talking to a group of Southerners claiming that he's not that smart, just like you, right? I'm not sure how that makes it better. But would Mark Lamont Hill be saying this? Would any of these people who are defending Gavin Newsom be saying this if Trump said the same thing? No. That's why these people are full of it, right? We can't give Gavin Newsom the benefit of the doubt for, again, two reasons. The first reason, you wouldn't do that for Trump. The second reason is that this is just one of many comments that prominent Democrats have made over the years about black people, implying that black people are dumb and stupid, okay? The problem here is that Gavin Newsom, like typical Democrats, again, he doesn't know how to do anything except pander, right? Because they do believe that black people are dumb. Okay, this is just like Hillary Clinton talking about I keep hot sauce in my bag. Kamala Harris talking about how she washes collard greens in a bathtub, right? They just use the most ridiculous examples of things that they claim they do that they actually don't do, right? In order to pander to black folks, right? They pander to black people based on what they think about black people, right? Kamala Harris thinks black people wash collard greens in a bathtub, right? Hillary Clinton thinks black people carry hot sauce in their bags. Kathy Hochul thinks black people don't know how to use a computer, right? Never grew up with a computer, okay? Don't know how to do basic stuff. Use simple technology.
All right, let me pause it right there and agree with the conservative perspective. To say that kids don't know how to use a computer or what a computer is, that was so disrespectful. At the time, I was teaching in New York City. So to hear that felt like a stab in the heart. Like, why is she calling everybody stupid? That's just crazy. In any case, I guess I am now conservative. So this is more of a conservative channel, trying to point out the honest truth and the reality that the real intellectuals are the right wing, are the conservatives. Now, I'm trying this new setup to see if it works. Let me see if I could get it to work. All right. I got a new computer with a new camera, so everything looks a little bit better, supposedly. And let me see if the video works. All right, we're going to switch it up and talk about Corey Holcomb.
Anton and Mika drama is still going on. And you know me.
She's real pretty, by the way. And switching the conversation, this is supposed to be a married woman trying to blow up a podcast. And she went with Anton Daniel. And it's crazy the fact that her husband lets her go hang out with him alone. They're both supposed to be married individuals. So the fact that they are hanging out, just them alone, no husband, no wife. I gotta fix this. Let me see if I could play around with it. Let's listen to the story while I play around with the camera. Shit.
I gotta get paid. Woo! But seriously, guys, this situation keeps getting more interesting. It's almost like we're watching like a sci-fi movie, or better yet, an investigation. And Mika has always tried to insinuate that her relationship with Anton Daniels was never that personal or even sexual.
I want to really drive it home. Has Anton ever flirted with you?
You see, when she was asked direct questions like this, she kind of beat around the bush with it.
Never.
And ultimately, she would come to this conclusion.
Anton does things for content, and then there's things that Anton will do if we're just sitting here.
Okay.
So if you're saying personal bully, if me and Anton was just sitting here, no.
You see, Anton Daniels does things for content or for clout. You know, he will do things on the show that he wouldn't do if he was sitting there in front of her. This is a really interesting way of putting things, because as content creators, we definitely can, you know, put 10 on 20, as we used to say back in Cali. We can front for the camera and then cut it off and be somebody completely different. It happens all the time. Even content creators can be fake. And this was largely backed up by Anton's friend.
And they over there talking about some. It seemed like Anton's wife knew what was going on. It seemed like he doing this for content. No shit, Sherlock. Ain't that what I told you from day one? Ain't that what I told you when the shit first jumped off?
Now, Anton's buddy, the Angry Man, also agrees with Mika. This stuff isn't real. It's just for content. It's just reviews. And in the Angry Man's case, I told you so. The problem with that is this.
So let's get this straight. You want us to believe Anton Daniels is creating cheating bait content with another married woman, and this all a motherfucking master plan. So he go delete the content that he was making for content. That's what the trying to say. Woo!
I'm gonna give a shout out to the House of Hypocrites YouTube channel, who's been doing a lot better job than me with some of this research.
Yeah.
Because some of these clips I had no idea where they were. And he makes a whole lot of sense. You see, Anton Daniels is privating some of these live streams, especially with him and Mika. I don't think he's making these YouTube streams private because it's him. No, Anton Daniels loves attention. He loves the attention so much that when his daughter was disrespected by Corey Holcomb, he didn't even go to the school to see her. He went on live stream and talked about how broken she was. You see how good of a father he is?
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the think you is?
If Anton Daniels is privating the streams or removing them from YouTube, it's almost certainly to protect Mika, because he went too far with Mika. He made Mika look bad. And so, yeah, he's trying to basically protect her because she's being attacked right now. And even though she's not working with him, behind the scenes, he's still trying to do this. I'm pretty sure this is exactly what's happening. So out of respect for her, he's private in these streams. But if it's for content, why would he need to do that? Woo! This is why being fake and phony comes back to bite you in the ass. When you're not being yourself, or at least being a skilled content creator, you're going to do stuff for clout that you're probably going to regret later. And this is the case with Anton. Because, of course, the people who want to prove Mika and Anton wrong have been going back and looking at their information. And what they find is shocking.
If I had met you some time ago, you think we would be in a relationship?
No.
Why not?
Toxic.
Why not?
You know, everybody hit their image because they're all laughing. That's crazy. Everybody's there together at the same time, just muted their views or blocked their views because they must be laughing at the camera and they don't want to get caught.
Toxic?
Now, you see, this is interesting because Anton,
Why not?
who want to prove Mika and Anton wrong, have been going back and looking at their information.
Look, they start
And what
smiling.
they
That's
find
funny.
is shocking.
If I had met you some time ago, you think we would be in a relationship?
That's so messed up.
Why not?
That's so
Toxic.
Why not? Because I'm toxic?
Now, you see, this is interesting because Anton Daniels flat out asked Mika, you know, if we were younger and you came across me, would we be in a relationship? And she said no, because he is too toxic. Woo! But then the answer would be no, because Anton Daniels would be too broke. Because when he was young, he didn't have any money. Woo! And to be fair, she's playing to her strengths, which is really like very passive aggressive. I mean, Mika is like that. She's not very direct or, you know, says her intentions or feelings really on the show. She kind of cuts her eyes a little bit, you know, certain things, or shows some level of a romantic interest, or at least she could be playing or joking. I'm not sure, but she actually turns him down in this case, which is what she is supposed to do because they're both married. Okay. But he continues.
Oh my God.
My personality type is to porn.
Toxic.
That's not what but see, you changing.
Oh, you're boring too?
What? I answered the question.
Let it go. You're trying too hard.
But what about the conversations that we had previously, though?
You're trying too
Now,
hard.
he's indicating that they had a conversation in, you know, a car in which she was talking different than she is right now on the stream. Basically, he's trying to tell her, like, listen, you told me something different behind closed doors. Now, if this is true.
And you know what's crazy? He's talking to her in public, in front of a whole group of people online. Why would you go that route?
This means that Mika was hanging out with Anton off the record and having conversations about relationship stuff when they are both married. And we can infer that this probably is true because she didn't try to stop him. She didn't try to correct him. She didn't try to say that that didn't happen. She did not say it. And he even continues.
Which one?
You just was different.
So he's insinuating that, look, we talked about this. Now you're not talking about this. And you're acting different. In other words, you're acting weird.
Damn.
Yeah, Anton, I get it, bro. I hate it when these ladies act weird with me, especially after I pay their phone bill. But here is where it gets interesting.
We supposed to be better than this. We supposed to be better than what we are. You don't agree?
No, because I'm a great friend.
No.
I am a great friend.
Now, he says, we're supposed to be better than this. And she then says, she is a great friend. But, Mika, that is very different than what you said on the talk perspective.
How long have you and Anton been business partners or friends?
We're business partners. And
So you're not a friend, because I don't want to provide language that's inaccurate.
that's why I changed it.
Yeah.
We're business partners. Absolutely.
You're not friends.
No.
Okay.
Friends would imply that we hang outside of business.
Not necessarily. Well, yes.
Again, I want to give a shout out to the House of Hypocrites or Lakeisha Keisha. I don't know if it was one of them that got these clips together, but it was an excellent job because here we have Mika not telling the truth. Mika's pretty much lied about this thing. At first, she's saying that she was never friends with Anton. Maybe she was at first. I'm not saying she's lying all the way. Let me take that back. But at the time of her making the video with Talk Perspective, they were not friends. I believe she said that she's never been friends with Anton. And if that's the case, that's not what's going on here. At the very minimum, they are friends. We know that because she said it. Fast forward. I know I'm fast forwarding, but actually, let's rewind. I can't really say if Anton Daniels and Mika were in some level of a sexual relationship, something more than friends. I can't be sure. And to be honest, it's really not any of our business as to if that happened or not. The question is this: is Mika capable of not telling the truth? And do we see evidence that for whatever she says, she could be lying? And the answer is yeah. Mika leaves a lot to be desired, and a lot of her stories don't match up because it seems that Mika is not telling the truth, at least about everything. And so if you will say that the man was your friend and then now he's not your friend, and then you'll say that you didn't have sex with the man, you didn't do this with the man, you didn't do that with the man, well, you do have a history of not telling the truth for here. So why should we believe anything else? I don't have a problem with anybody at all, but it just hurts your credibility because, well, that's what you said, and now you're saying that you didn't say it.
I like her hat.
So now I think that the public perception of Mika is, okay, she may not have had a sexual relationship, but let's assume the worst. She's not telling the truth. We all know that Anton Daniels is lying. Woo! She's supposed to tell the truth. She's having a problem telling the truth, and everything else that's kind of in a dusty bag, right? It's kind of down bad. And guys, I think you should also learn from the mistake here. You see, there are some women who can lie in a minute, like Mika, and that can impact you. They can tell you that they got this going on or that going on, and ultimately it's a lie going on. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy.
You know what? Shout out to Anton Daniels for taking a hit for all men being destroyed publicly. Like, she's really going all out, protecting her image, saying that that's not even her friend. Most men should just, simps like Anton Daniels should just wake up and stop trying to impress anybody. As a matter of fact, the best way to impress anybody is to be yourself. That's it. And then she better act accordingly. Once you act who you are, it's like passing it to her now. You deal with that. Call me if you feel like it, if you want to be friends. But in reality, he just got to be strong enough to walk away. And here he's showing that he's not. And nobody's a relationship expert, but what she's putting him through is like kind of obvious. And I think everybody on the show there, they blocked their camera. They didn't want to show their faces because they were probably laughing. Especially the female, because they know the game. They know what's up. They see that she's just using him, but he's failing to realize it. Or no, maybe he also sees it, but he's trying really hard or pretending that it's not happening. That's crazy. Okay, I got to turn the light on and this light on. I got a chimney right there and the light's on the top. This is my new setup that I'm thinking of using moving forward. Let's see. Prende la chimenea.
Ay, qué cosa tan linda. Yo la bendigo.
Let me try to do this on video. Hopefully I don't fall.
Ay, un besito.
Let me give it a try. Still recording live.
No, va a prender la chimenea.
Sí. Espera, que enchúfamela.
¿Y quién la desconectó? Yo nunca he usado eso.
Enchúfame.
¿Tú no me quieres? Bueno. Pero esa chimenea no era la que nosotros teníamos. ¿Tú la dejaste allá esa?
La otra, sí, la otra se la llevó.
Ay, Dios.
A ver qué linda se ve Nina. So, like I was saying, the only thing I don't like about my camera setup is how I'm going to rearrange it. Every time I want to move the camera around, it's a challenge for me. So, can I record like this? How can I center myself here? I feel like Jim Jones, the rapper, creating a podcast, trying to figure things out. I might have to get another camera, but oh wow, this thing came off. Great. Goes the microphone. So how do you center yourself on this? I'm gonna have to like move my cameras, which is not easy.
Gavin, levanta la cabeza.
Got a new mouse, which I'm not used to using. Let me get back to the video here. You know what? To everybody's action is something to learn. So from Anton Daniel, he's becoming rich, YouTube rich, and the girl is just using him and embarrassing him. Look, another video. Poetic Flacco finally gives Corey what he deserves. Poetic Flacco. He dissed Anton Daniel. That's crazy. Secret plan. All right, let's check this video out.
Last few weeks, Corey Holcomb has been going at a lot of content creators, me included. But the bulk of his energy has been directed at two people in general. One is the lead attorney, and another guy is Poetic Flacco. Now, Poetic Flacco has been making some really interesting videos about Corey Holcomb, and Corey doesn't like it.
When I saw this, I saw
face,
this.
no case,
This got a BBL.
Oh yeah!
You looking at his
I
ass.
ain't never seen this got a BBL, dog.
Yep.
That's messed up.
This thick like a stripper in the South Club in South Carolina.
Okay.
This BBL. I'm like, what is he talking about?
Now, he's talking about Poetic Flacco is thick, has a BBL, in these sorts of things. Now, this is interesting because Corey Holcomb is saying that content creators such as myself or the other guys are just spreading false lies and rumors about him, even though people are using his clips, like old past clips of what Corey has said on the internet, right online. And so now Corey Holcomb is threatening to do this.
And put forth what needed to be put forth to stop the nonsense. But I'm not gonna lie, this media giant has other ways of getting at me, and they getting at me. But I'm telling you, all you bloggers you can stop it because you belong to me. In a week or two, you're going to see all this stuff you did to make me famous. It's unfortunate because I was lied on, but that's going to be my money from my videos. I never did this before because I never had to.
So
there's even content creators that want to fight him for money, $100,000. That's how much hate there is for him.
What Corey is saying that if you use his
What's this? Ask about this video.
Name, image, or likeness, or content in videos, what he believes that he has the right to do is to either copyright strike your video or make a copyright claim in your video. So for those people who don't know how it works, if you use a content creator's clips, usually it's over 1 minute or more, even in your reaction, what they can do is they can copyright claim the content. And so what's the upload?
So basically, I'm watching this video and I got to pause it every now and then because if it goes beyond a minute, they could copyright strike it. Thank you for the lesson.
The video, then you won't be able to monetize it. It's typically a way to get you to stop trying to use their live content. And I'll tell you who does it too. Joe Budden does it very well. Joe Budden does it. Vlad does it. So if you use their content for any length of time past 30 seconds, you will lose the money. And so this is what Corey Holcomb is saying about us. If we use his content, he is going to be making money off of all of our videos. And this is why Poetic Flacco has made this video on his channel to alert YouTubers how to beat the system.
Corey Holcomb plans on putting a content ID claim on his content. So when you react to it, you will get this screen right here where it tells you content used, Corey Holcomb, et cetera, et cetera. Now, it will be no restrictions. However, Corey Holcomb would take all the money from the video. Corey Holcomb's perspective is, well, if I just make it hard for them to monetize their content, then they would just stop talking about me and, you know, all the bad things I do won't go talked about. See, here's the thing. You have options. You talking about Corey Holcomb is fair use. Even though he has a content ID claim on the video, there's still steps you could take.
Now, shout out to Poetic Flacco for that. He went into more detail, but he's teaching you how to beat the copyright claims. One thing somebody can always do is not play the video and just play the voice, and you'll still get all the monetization on the video anyways. But the reality is that we're talking about fair use. And this is what Poetic Flacco talked about in the video. Is me or any other content creator who is reacting to a Corey Holcomb episode or talking about Corey Holcomb's information, is that something that he can copyright claim or to force us from talking about his clips?
Scenario number 2, criticism. Critics are allowed to use copyrighted materials for their reviews. For example, if a music critic is reviewing an album, they can use small portions of the song to provide their expert opinion.
So I could put a song on and just react to it. I saw somebody doing that. It looks nice.
Now, as you can see, fair use does protect criticism of anybody on the internet. That means if you're a musician, that means if you're a sports team, I can critique it as long as I'm adding new value to an article, to a review, or to a business. Now, Corey Holcomb would be right to challenge the fact that, let's say, for example, he has a whole 3-hour podcast. I come in and I download the entire podcast, only put up YouTube shorts like he has on the show. I'm not adding value to the clips. I'm not trying to change the clips. I'm not adding new sound, new background. I have not transformed the work in any way. So yes, in that particular situation, Corey Holcomb has every right to say, hey, I'm stealing his content, and then take the content down or copyright flag the content and all of this. But in all circumstances, all of us as content creators who are reacting to Corey Holcomb's content or using some of his clips, what we are doing is fair use. We are protected by fair use. All right. And if Corey Holcomb tries to come out and say, these videos should come down because they're using my content, and if he over abuses that system, he could also lose his YouTube channel.
He's right, you know.
But what's so funny is that Corey Holcomb uses other people's content himself from time to time. And how do we know this?
If it's on the internet, we can talk shit about it. Remember that. Let me say that again. If it's on the internet, we can talk shit and joke about it. That's what we do. Been doing it for a long time. We're not going to stop. Everybody who got pissed off at the show today.
You know, that dude right he got on looks horrible for a 57-year-old man to be dressed like this. Oh, sad.
Mother, eat a ham hock.
Literally. That is Corey Holcomb singing at the end of the same show in which he made fun of Anton Daniels' underage daughter. He's saying, look, if it's on the internet, we can talk about it, right? Now, when he's doing it, he can talk about it. And then he also says this.
It belonged to the game. It's not even your property no more. Did you know that? Thank Corey Holcomb for telling you that. Oh, Corey gonna get in trouble for showing this. Let me tell you something. If you put it online, it belongs to me.
If you put it online, it belongs to the game. If you put it online, it belongs to me. So clearly, Corey Holcomb feels that if you put anything online, including a picture of your mother, a picture of your underage daughter or son, well, you put it on the internet. So I have the right, or he has the right, to talk about it, even if it's unfairly, even if the information is not true. Any of those things, he believes he has the ability to do that. And the reality is that you don't have the ability to do it. Number one, if it's on the internet, people can critique it, which is what people do all the time to movies, which is what people do all the time to albums. People can critique it, they can react to it, they can transform it. But you do it all the time. He played a clip of the lead attorney the other day, the lead attorney's own clip, in which the lead attorney, he had a fumble and messed up and said, that he was in a relationship with his girlfriend and then mentioned Kevin Samuels, but it was a mistake. But Corey Holcomb had no problem using the lead attorney's content to prove his point. And I guess if it's on the internet, it belongs to you, right? But when you say stupid stuff on the internet, it also belongs to you. You get the best of both worlds. You get to do whatever you want to do and then punish people when they do the same thing to your ass. And the reality is that this is a big time scare tactic. I think that Corey Holcomb in the past, when he was saying, a lot of this pejorative things about young women in general, things that kind of cross the line into the PED 0 category, people largely ignored it because it's like, well, all right, well, Corey Holcomb, you're like a comedian. So because you're a comedian, you probably really don't mean what you're saying, right? So I can't really hold you accountable for that because, you're a comedian. Comedians say weird stuff all the time. I mean, we like you. You're funny. We're fans of the 5150 show.
And also having that badge of a comedian, he really got away with saying a lot of things that he was feeling inside and he thought were true about young kids, which is pretty crazy. He put it out there. And now a lot of people hate Corey Holcomb.
Just Corey crashing out. But Corey really in our heart of hearts doesn't mean that. Like, he can't really mean that. So let's just give him a pass. Anybody can say something and make a mistake. Anybody can say something that's not really true. So there is nothing wrong with it. The problem with this is the Christina Payne situation where he, as he says, mushed the lady. He pushed the lady in the face. And the problem with pushing the lady in the face was not that, you just hit a lady.
They should now say, hit him with the Corey Holcomb shove or the Corey Holcomb punch. It's epic.
Right? Like, that was the problem. The issue is that, you hit a lady. And so all of these other things that you've been saying about women is not comedy. This is most likely how you feel about women in general. So you have a fundamental problem with women. You dislike women. Now, I'm not here to say that Corey Holcomb dislikes women. I don't think he dislikes women in general. I think he has a strong dislike for the ones that he just don't like. But that's what happened. So then you had the situation with Anton's daughter, which didn't help you in any way. You really made a huge mistake with Anton Daniels' daughter. It was like it was bad, right? It was something that the normal guy who was thinking about his life and livelihood and his career would have said, you know what, let me not just do this because it don't make no sense and it's dumb for me to do it. So I just shouldn't do it because it's dumb, right? It's just one of the dumbest things I can do. So why would I do it?
Anton Daniel made $1 million for that fight with Corey Holcomb. Just some views on YouTube.
Right? I shouldn't do it. It's dumb for me to do it. I should not, and I will not do it. Did Corey do that? No. Corey Holcomb indeed did not do that. He did something different. He doubled down. So then people started to get more deeper into the conversation. They started looking into more of his past work. They started seeing how he was treating Darlene. They started adding 2 and 2 together. And so now they just started coming for it. And then obviously when you can start making money as a content creator, talking about somebody that's having a problem, that's egotistical, you're going to do it. It's the same thing that's happened to Anton Daniels. All right. Once content creators can kind of feel that they can benefit from a situation a little bit, especially if they don't like you, yes, that's going to happen. And that's exactly what happened to Corey Holcomb. People just started coming after the guy. They started doing what they were doing, and it just all looked bad. And so he's scared now. Literally, Corey Holcomb is afraid. I think he's afraid for his future. It's bleak. So he wants to scare guys off from making content about him. And the reality is that, bro, no, nobody's going to stop. People are going to continue making content about you because simply you're deranged and it's a big money grab right now. Like, even if you mention somebody, let's say Corey Holcomb mentions somebody, let's say he mentions me, he roasts me. He says, okie dokie, or he says the lead and the behind law. Like, the moment you start addressing people like that, well, the issue is that, they start to say, he's talking about me. Let me go ahead and get my bag together and get my money on. All somebody's going to do is clip it. Corey Holcomb just roasted me up and get like 100,000 views on the video. And now you're balling. Down. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of Let's Celebrity Drunk. Appreciate you for all you do. Scratch the bell. We're out.
All right, Corey Holcomb getting destroyed online. Being a public figure is not easy, right? And now everybody running to podcasting because there's money involved only makes sense. Now, part of the reason I was thinking about this, why am I doing a podcast? And if you think about it, I'm retired. Like, if I could give advice, I'm going to try to give advice to my son. The ideal age to retire is 40 and 45. Like, you still have a lot of good years ahead of you at 40 and at 45. So if you can retire in your 40s, that's so non-traditional. But the trick to retire as a man, you don't want to retire to do nothing. It's like doing nothing is the worst case scenario. Like, what are we doing here? We're bored to death. Like, it's not normal for men to just sit at home and watch TV all day, right? With all the free time, you want to find things to do. So, in my situation, I'm trying to contribute to the internet, to podcasting, put all my ideas out there, and put it out there with freedom, with no fear. Because another thing is, when you have a job, one of the big fears is losing it or getting fired. And if you live in big cities, getting embarrassed and humiliated because you're seeing people on an everyday basis when you go outside, the city's big. And I think living outside of the city is a gift. I go everywhere and anywhere, and it's cool. I truly feel free. Like, there's no judgment whatsoever. Nobody judging me, and I could care less. So it really gives me that freedom that I always wanted to do and say whatever I wanted to do, and not have to worry about being judged or misjudged or being fired, losing my job, losing my pension. And not only that, but for example, I retired with a small earnings, like making a little bit of money, but enough to pay the mortgage. enough to eat, enough to do this, to podcast at home. Got myself a brand new computer. I love it. I can see the difference. I had a 2015 MacBook Air, and the internet on that is so slow. And yes, finally I upgraded, got myself a Mac, and it looks much better. Even the camera, the internet, everything is much, much faster. You live and you learn. So this is one of my goals in life now. To have the strength to come on here, to have the strength to come online for at least an hour, give my opinion, do some reaction videos, and give an honest opinion. That's all the value that I think we all have. Not just the look, not just the visual, but our opinion. What we got to say about something. Now, you're going to get a lot of haters saying nobody wants to hear your thoughts and nobody cares. So the next thing to do is do it for yourself. Put your voices out there. Talk. That is one of the most difficult things to do. To get your opinion out there and to know that you're right to yourself. Right? This is the true value of life. Like, for example, my opinion on the Anton Daniels and that Mika girl. Like, he's really embarrassing himself and humiliating himself. For all of us to see that Anton Daniel, he's the prize. He's the money. So he needs to act accordingly. Stop chasing hot chicks, you know, and put yourself in a position where they're pursuing and chasing you. And anything happens between you and a chick, it's just a moment. It's like they say, your turn. Maybe it manifests itself in something a little longer, but because the women are the one that choose, you got to be okay with just letting it go. She's choosing to just move on. It is what it is. I'm in a situation where I'm with an individual that I'm like, leave if you want. I live a great life. I live a good life. I got heat. I got running water. I live in a mansion. The doors are right there. The door is right there. Keep it moving. I think the only thing bad, for example, about my second wife was that she was dating other people. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. In my point of view, you're cheating on me. I can't do it. And maybe she wasn't, but it's just in my point of view, I'm not happy with this situation. Let's all move on in life. I got no fear to letting go. Letting people choose or chase their happiness. Not that easy, but you got to grow strong and look at it as they're lost. I'll say one last thing. I once got approached by a coworker who said to me, I cheated on my girl. He felt like just getting that off his chest. My first question was, did you level up? Like, is the girl hotter than your chick? And he said, not necessarily. So I said to him, I mean, what would you say to the guy? Like back in those days, it was all a women-centered thing where you got to be like, oh, you're so bad. You're so awful. How can you do that to her? But I said, no, I'm not following that approach. And I said to him, what did she do to get you to cheat? How did she mess up the bag? Because at the end of the day, you are the bag, I told him. You're the gift. So it's her job to secure the bag by making sure that you're not going anywhere. Even if it's proposed to you, like a girl wants to sleep with you, and she knows you got a girl, a man would just put a stop to it if he doesn't want to mess up his relationship with his wife or girlfriend. So his girlfriend's friend offered herself and ended up sleeping with him. So he cheated on her. So it was like she messed up. I told him, don't feel bad. It is what it is. If she breaks up with you, the guy is the owner of the house. Got a good job. And he's doing good. And not only that, he was like, what, 22? I'm like, this is your bottom. You're only going to make more money moving forward. Even if you're stuck on this job or you enjoy being here and you want to move on, it's only going to be to a higher paying job. So at 22, you already have a house, a good salary, vacations, you're in a union job. Fuck it. Just let it go. And you don't need to chase her, because at the end of the day, him as the guy being chased by women is the truth. So that's the best thing a guy could do for himself. It's just improve and do better. So I'm currently going through a divorce, so I really can't say much, except for the fact that my lawyer said it's probably going to take a year because she's going to fight it. So I'm going to check on AI now. How does it work when a woman fights the divorce? With that said, this is my new setup. Let's see how long I'll keep this up. ¡Ole! ¿Cómo tú estás? Dile hola al pueblo. Hola. And we have a friend in the background just hanging out with us. All right, let me check out another video. I love all the videos on YouTube. There's so much gossip and things to learn. Tracy Morgan talks near fatal crash, 30 Rock, and SNL career. Oh, look. Tracy Morgan went on the Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder show. Did not know that. Let's take a look. Corey Holcomb goes to war after fans turn on him. Which one am I going to watch?
¿Fue el aire que está prendido?
¿Esa puerta está abierta?
¿Cuál puerta?
Esa.
No, el aire está prendido.
Qué frío.
El aire acondicionado.
Americans Trapped. You know what? Let me watch this quote.
Saying something is not the same as doing something, but they want to act like I did
Man,
something.
where I'm from, you put a jacket on somebody like that without no paperwork, and that man is within his rights to off you.
Hey, look,
Bro, shut the fuck up with this tough shit, bro. This motherfucker, dog. This nigga over here eating dick, bro. That nigga over there in the corner eat dick, bro. Like, real talk.
Yep.
I don't even like disrespect the man, bro, but this shit is crazy. How the fuck you just ride for this man like that? But this motherfucker is in front of the world, and he is admitted to doing this shit, and he thought it was okay, but he realized that it wasn't okay. And I bet right now he wish he would have never said that shit. He wish he would have hid his true color.
A lot of people are turning on Corey Holcomb because nowadays, man, with the internet, all the clips are coming out. This man is insane. Let's check out this clip.
This video right here reads, Corey Holcomb lies and humiliates himself in his latest podcast. I see old girl, she made it back around, so I guess they're on good terms now. So let's get into this video, see what this video is talking about, man. Let's see what this video is talking about.
This most recent episode of the Corey Holcomb podcast was a disaster. This podcast proved to me and everybody watching, Corey Holcomb is clinically insane. He needs to seek help. He keeps getting more unhinged as the weeks go by. This podcast used to be a podcast where grown men come and gossip about other men's sexuality.
Corey Holcomb is a 56-year-old man still talking about you're gay.
Now, I didn't know it was possible, but this podcast has devolved. It has devolved into a podcast where Corey Holcomb comes and he talks about these aluminum helmets, conspiracies, and how he's at war and everybody is out to get him.
I'm at war with major devils that are after my good reputation. I didn't even want to bring you.
All right, I want to pause it. He's talking about his good reputation. The man got the worst reputation online. Let me switch it up. All right, let me walk. By the way, you got to stay physical. Everybody out there, back in the days, the most I ever bench was 250. Thank God I used to work out. I think I feel a little bit stronger, a little bit much better. Now, I'm going to go check out in the home heat. It's a little bit cold in here. And I got to get into a schedule where I stand up every hour or so to get things done, or to at least make use of my legs. It is what it is when you're battling MS. Make sure to talk. I do notice that my talking is a little bit more difficult. My thinking is a little bit more difficult. And that goes along with the battle of MS. And that's it. You got to look for your strengths, your weaknesses, and go with what you got. Yeah. All right. I'll be back later on. And what is this? Live in 15 minutes. Join me, the kickoff, blah, blah, blah. Look, I want to see if I'm going to continue working with this camera angle. If not, see you on the next video. Peace.